Hello, I am Dr. Daryl D. Green. This is Mktg 3323. This is called Introduction to Marketing Analytics and Web Intelligence. You are in for a treat. This semester, our students have been working with a business client, applying what they learned in the classroom called digital marketing analytics, and you're gonna be amazed. We have 4 teams that are gonna present, dealing with clients all across the world. So I want to introduce our reviewers. I hope we got 13 people in here, so maybe our reviewers will show up. Um, First we have Miss Hagens. Introduce herself, man.
Good afternoon. I'm Lori Hagens. I'm the Director of Career Services here at OBU and look forward to hearing your presentations.
Also have alumni who sat in your seats. We talk about Michael Shits. He had it when it was not that great. I think Team 2 was talking about their client. Please ask Mr. Samuel Smith about his client that he had, and that's Mr. Samuel Smith.
Hi everyone, I'm Samuel Smith. I've been in your seats before. I graduated OBU in 2019, and now I'm the executive director over clinical operations and business development for the Oklahoma Arthritis Center.
Okay, so I think we might have more reviewers, but at this time we have 2, and then I think we have a guest. I think Mr. Calvin Baldwin is around. So let's start with Team 1. Team 1, you're up.
All right, about to share. Okay, here we go. Can everyone see my screen?
We see it. Looking
okay.
Good.
All right, so we are Team 1, Walker Funeral Services and Cremation. This is Team 1. I'm the leader, Ken Williams, Kelsey Price, and Addison Garrard.
So for our agenda today, we're going to go through the organizational background, our client's problem, our analysis, our marketing strategy, our detailed schedule, our results, and what our client said about us, and our lessons learned, and then we'll wrap things up. So for our organizational background, Walker Funeral is owned by Mark Riley, Aaron Riley, and Jamie Reed. They're a local funeral home or a funeral service here in the Shawnee area. And they provide burial plots, options, and everything involved with funerals. So our client's issue was they struggled to be connected and embedded within the community. They had a low engagement on social media, and this was all kind of tied into the main issue of tiptoeing around the concept of death. That's not a very easy thing to talk about. That's also not a very easy thing to market to people.
Yeah, so what we did was we planned out a detailed schedule. We had a research stage where we kind of researched people around their niche. We benchmark the local funeral home right by them, right down the street, and we also benchmark the largest funeral home in the nation to see what they're doing marketing wise, or what they're doing with their earns and things like that. So we moved on to strategizing what we're going to do for the social media. We settled on photo and video type of styles. We did A/B testing posts, and we did photos and videos, see which one was going to do the best, and they ended up being both of them doing pretty well. So we stuck with both, and then we implemented the launch, did a marketing campaign that was about 50 days, and we tracked the analytics of how well they did. And so the marketing strategy was just as mentioned, social media marketing and video and photo content. They also didn't follow a lot of people on social media. They followed 20 people at the time. And so we advised them to follow people to start building connections to some type of people in the community. So we did local businesses, churches, just someone to kind of connect Walker into the community. And then we tracked their analytics. So for analysis, we had the stoplight chart, digital marketing analysis, and competitive benchmarking. The digital marketing analysis kind of shows what they're missing on social media or online. They did pretty well on there. The Facebook is their best social media, and the competitive benchmarking is what I mentioned earlier. We'll go through the stoplight chart right here. So we had a red flag here. Do you have a strategy in mind to help build your brand? They didn't necessarily have a strategy in mind social media wise. They were kind of lost, didn't know what to post or how to post or how to go about it. So what we did was we went to yellow and we said, are you taking steps to improve your marketing? And so what we did, we formulated the plan, and basically we had a series called the hard questions, basically having them answer questions that people have about funerals and the nature of death and things like that. And we identified the competitors to see, are we differentiating Walker Funeral Home from other people, other groups of funeral homes. And so here are the results. Instagram followers, about 20 in the time frame that we were working with them. Their average likes before campaign was only 6. They had 180 likes for 29 posts. When we were posting, which was about 7 posts, we had 87 likes and 12 likes per post on average. As you can see here, this also is the analytics between the time we worked with them. The Facebook reach, so we would post on both Facebook and Instagram. We focus more on Instagram, but when you post on Instagram, it posts on Facebook as well. They had 15,000 people get reached on their Facebook. And also they had the higher engagement on the post reactions, post reach. As you can see, it says 127.5% up here in the last 90 days of what we were working with them, and also the 96.4%. And so here's some of the results right here. Here's just the video.
What do you think one of the hardest parts about being a funeral director is?
Don't want to show too much. And then here's the urn post. So we would post different urns to showcase the different options they had. Whatever that the family would want, we want to show that we can provide that for them. And then here's the client feedback.
This is Mark, and I wanted to share my experience with the micro interns this semester. Kendall, Addison, and Kelsey were exceptional students, and we really appreciated their ability to bring together quick ideas that seemed to be quite effective and were easy to put in place. They shared a lot with us that I think we can use going forward that will help our business succeed in our social media marketing. Thanks again, guys.
And then here are the lessons. Here's lesson learns.
So throughout this whole process of this internship, we all learned quite a bit of lessons. One of them being how to deal with advertising for a business as complex as a funeral home, as well as brainstorming. Finding brainstorming very important. To conclude, we were able to accomplish our goals and help Walker Funeral Homes improve their social media presence, as well as start to help them be more part of the community and get their foot in the door to help the community a little bit more.
And then is there any questions?
Thank you so much. Would you unshare your screen?
Yes.
We're gonna go the review order. We ask the reviewers to keep their questions or comments to 15 to 30 seconds, and we want hope that our students will respond. We're gonna go with Higgins, Smith, and Frazier. And I'm gonna ask Frazier to introduce himself later, and then go ahead and give his comments. So first Higgins, Smith, and then Frazier.
Okay, good job, guys. One of the things I really liked, I liked your A/B testing, so you could check to see really what was working. I thought that was a really good idea. I'm not sure I've heard many of the teams really talk about that previously, so good job on that. I also thought it was really good advice that you gave to them for following local businesses. For those of you who know or don't know, Walker Funeral Home has been in the community a long time. However, they're under new management. So it's going to be important for them to make connections within the community as new to the community. I do have one question though, is because I know they've worked with students previously. So did you feel like you were able to build on what the previous students had done, or did you feel like you were starting all over?
I won't say starting all over, but I do think social media wise, what they had on there before, they just didn't post on there. So I feel like it was kind of starting from the bottom and trying to work to the top. And, yeah.
And Ms. Hagen, I just want to make it funny. The team that worked with them is in the same class last year. So so they were able to collaborate and share lessons learned. So I thought that was amazing. Smith,
they did do something different.
Go ahead.
That's why they did something different.
Thank you. Smith.
Yeah, great presentation, and looking at the time frame you had to get your results and your actual results, I mean, that honestly is very impressive. One thing with social media is you can have great starts to campaigns, and then sustainability can be difficult. Did you all leave them with any plans and any recommendations for how to try to keep that not just keep it where it's at, but continue that growth in the future?
Yeah, we did suggest possibly hiring a part-time social media guy or lady, either way. But that was basically saying, hey, y'all might want to keep up with your social media, just because if you keep doing these pauses, you're not going to see as much growth as you did in the past month or so.
Thank you so much. Now we're gonna have Frazier. Frazier, I want you to introduce yourself and go ahead and give your comments.
Good afternoon, everybody. Denzel Frazier, Marketing Operations Manager for RIMS Professional Services. And first off, great presentation, guys. I really like the A/B testing as well, and the market research component. You guys benchmarked a few funeral homes, which is good. So my question just would be, as far as the social media side, did you guys see any growth in the followers? I don't know if I missed that during the presentation. And also, were you able to analyze that and see what type of following that you got from those campaigns that you ran?
Yeah, so in the time that we ran the campaign, we gained 20 followers. We didn't necessarily look at each and every follower. We should have saw their, I guess, demographic, I guess, was what we should have analyzed. But we gained 20 followers in the time frame, and I think that's something we can take for the next internship is whenever you get a follower, see what type of demographic or who's following us, basically. So
Good job. So I want you to look at the bottom of your screen for those that don't play this game like we play. And I want you to give a virtual applause to Team One. Thank you so much, Team One. Give us like there we go. That's nice. I gave a little heart sign. So next, and their client was against Shawnee. Now we're gonna move on to Team Two. Team Two, you're up. Oh, and I want to mention at the time, Team One's presentation was 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Outstanding.
Okay, can everyone see our screen?
Looks beautiful orange, like UT orange.
Okay, great. So we are Team Two. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We will be presenting on the final results of our micro internship. So today we're going to introduce you to our team, our client's problem, how we went about doing that, and our schedule, our analysis and results, feedback from our client, and our conclusion. So like I said, we are Team Two. Our motto this semester was intentional communication with effective results. First, we have Caitlin Burks. She took on the role as president. She is the senior communications major from Kansas City, Kansas, with a passion for organization and design. And myself, I'm Lindsay Baird. I'm a senior marketing major from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I'm an aspiring real estate agent. And this semester, I took on the role of curating content. So our client was Anthony Kirk, and he owns a business consulting organization in Oklahoma City. He specializes in helping small businesses get started and kind of take off from there. He offers a few different services to help with that. And he also has a 12-week planner that he has designed himself to help businesses stay organized and make sure they have a marketable and profitable product or service. So his problems kind of, the first one was his email communication. He did have emails that he's done in the past, but we wanted to kind of revamp his contact list and get some new email campaigns started. And then with social media, he had no active campaigns running, but he does have a good social media presence. So we just wanted to curate some content and get that posted. And he also had a lot of his planners that he's designed. He has a lot of stock there, so he wanted to get some sales going and clear that out.
So based off of the client problems that he discussed with us, we came up with 4 objectives for our project. The first objective was to increase open rate on email campaigns. And then with increasing open rate, we also wanted to increase the click-through rate on his email campaigns. And then with our social media campaign, we wanted to increase website visits and also utilize the holiday season with both our social media campaign and email campaigns and really hit on the Black Friday opportunity. Based off of our objectives, this is the schedule we followed for the semester. Week 1 was all about gathering qualified leads. We looked on Facebook groups and also some different databases around Oklahoma City to get emails for potential small business owners. Then we researched successful email campaigns, drafted emails based off of that research, and then we did an in-depth social media analysis of Mr. Kirk's social media. And then after that, we drafted the social media ads, scheduled the emails and the ads, and then finally we collected and analyzed the data.
So to start, we ran a few analyses just to see where our client was currently and to kind of identify the needs he had and ways that we could help him be successful this semester. So the first one we did was a SWOT analysis to analyze his strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We ran an AI analysis, a digital marketing analysis, and the last one, our stoplight chart, which I'll go into. So the red kind of talks about things that are not going well, things that we really need to focus on, which was our email marketing, planner sales, and social media ads. The yellow are things that he is working on, but could still use some improvement. Those were organic traffic to website, his SEO, and a contact list. And then things that were going really well for Mr. Kirk was his fully functioning website. He does have an established social media presence, like I said, and he does have an established product and service.
Our results were very promising for our campaigns. The top performing email was our 50% off Black Friday deal. We ended up sending 4 different emails, but we wanted to touch on our top performing one. We had a 41% open rate, which was up 128% from previous email campaigns, and an 8% click-through rate, which was up 100% from previous campaigns. We were very excited to see that our new leads that we had added to the email list were opening our emails and also clicking on the different links that we've inserted into the emails.
So as far as our social media ads go, we ran 3. We ran one the day before Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving, and the day after. And like Katie said, it was a 50% off promotion of his planner sales. So on Instagram, the top performing one was posted on Black Friday, and we reached 1,737 people, which was up 98% from his previous social media ads. And our emphasis for those ads were website visits, and our top performing ad had 12 website visits, which was up 92% from the previous ad. Our client, his response to our work this semester was that he appreciated our diligence.
And finally, for our lessons learned, my lesson was that communication is key when you are working on time-sensitive projects. We had a client who wanted emails and ads out on Black Friday or before Black Friday, and making sure that we were staying on schedule and communicating effectively with our client was very important.
Yeah, and mine was also very similar. Like Black Friday, or like Katie said, Black Friday is a time-sensitive event. And so you do have to manage your budget very effectively because you only get that one weekend to kind of post everything that you've been working on. So you want to make sure that you've hit all the marks on that. That is all for today. Thank you everyone for listening, and we are ready for questions.
Thank you so much. Your presentation was 6 minutes and 15 seconds, which is outstanding. We're gonna go with Smith, Frazier, and Higgins.
Yeah, great presentation. Visuals were really good. It was very clear and concise. We utilize holiday social media marketing stuff all the time here, so I really like that. You talked about an AI analysis. I didn't know what that was, and then how you use the results from that.
Yeah, so Dr. Green has been very passionate about teaching us to utilize AI technology this semester. The AI analysis was basically going into ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT what information it could gather from databases. And then we ended up finding out that the ChatGPT is quite limited on what current information it can share because of new updates, but it did give us a really good analysis outline that we ended up sharing with our client for him to do some self-reflection.
Thank you so much.
Great presentation, guys. One question for you. As far as the increase in open rate and click-through rate, seemed like a huge jump in engagement. I think it was over 100%. So my question is, what do you guys think contributed to that jump?
We found that a lot of the open rate came from the new leads that we added. I think that Mr. Kirk had a couple outdated leads who were not quite as interested in the product he was giving, but we also wanted to do a time-sensitive email campaign. So our email subject line was talking about the sale ending soon, which I think made people jump into that.
Good deal. Higgins?
Good job, ladies. Loved your motto. I thought that was great to have in there. I thought that was really good. I liked your introductions and the way you shared a little bit of personal information about yourselves. Your graphics were great. I liked your objectives and how you expanded upon them, and they were very clear. I thought you did a really good job on that with good results. I do have one question that was Mr. Frazier just brought up about the leads and all. How did you find the new leads? How did you do that research?
Yeah, I can take this one. So Katie actually went through like a business like phone book and found some that were like local and some that weren't local. And then I took from social media. So I went through his followers and following and looked through all of their bios, tried to gather as many contacts as I could. And we just kind of went from there.
Great job.
Okay. Let's give a virtual applause. Oh, is the client in the room? I guess for team 1 or team 2. I didn't see him. Is the client here? Okay, Kendall, raising your hand. You are being acknowledged. Kendall, you raised your hand. Great job. Good use, man. I appreciate that. Go ahead, man. You have the floor, Kendall. What do you got to say? Oh, you say you raised your hand.
That was a mistake. I didn't do that.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll move on. Let's give a virtual applause for team 2. Thank you so much. Next up is team 3. Team 3, you're up.
All right, thank you, Dr. Green. Give me a sec to pull it up here. Can y'all see the screen?
Looks beautiful.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Micah Branham. This is Team 3. I'm a junior at OBU. I'm an international business and marketing major, and my teammate Ben Mason is a senior, and he's a marketing major as well. I'm team lead, and Ben was my partner on this, and he worked on a lot of the curating the content. He was really good at that and making the different videos, and I worked with Greta a lot in communication, and our client was GK Office Services. Before we get started, a quick shout out to our mentors. Ben had Kincaid West as his mentor, and I had Chuck Lawrence. Mentors were very important for us throughout the semester to give us different advice kind of just have an older, wiser voice who's been through all of this to give us advice in life and business and how to hold ourselves to different standards. All right, so for our agenda today, we're going to talk about our client, some of the issues that our client had, our marketing strategy approaching this and how we went about it, our work schedule, the analysis of the data, as well as results and feedback. And we're going to end it up with lessons learned in the conclusion. So our client was Greta Kokalari. She has a virtual GK office services or virtual assistant. And she's done freelance work for over 5 years. And basically people will send her documents or presentations on Fiverr or on her website, and she'll format them and send it back for them. And she does professional document design. She's done a lot of work for different clients, as well as Dr. Green for some of the documents you've actually used in this class. So the problem that Greta was facing, she's very reliant on Fiverr to bring in a lot of her clients. Fiverr is a freelance website, basically. However, when you search document design on Fiverr, a lot of the larger producers will show up first, and you have to scroll pretty far down to find Greta. So she wasn't the top result on Fiverr, and she has little resources devoted to bringing in her clients besides Fiverr. So that was her major issue. So our marketing strategy for Greta, we wanted to increase her Fiverr, Upwork, and personal website orders. And the main way we wanted to try to do this was through social media engagement. So we plan on implementing a consistent posting schedule with high quality content. But throughout the course of the semester, we had to adapt a little bit. And so where we are now, we ended up focusing exclusively on Fiverr. So not the website, not Upwork. And so we channeled everyone to that one link. We did a lot of research about that. And basically it said customers, when they only have one option, they're a lot more likely to do that option than if they have multiple options, they don't make any choice at all. So we began posting more infographic content at first, but however, we ended up focusing mainly on short videos and reels, because especially on Instagram, they got a lot more views because they promote reels. All right, so our work schedule. In September, we had our kickoff meeting. We started setting goals and planning out the content we wanted to post, and we started beginning to make some of that content. Coming to October, we posted our first stuff to Instagram and Facebook. We created our first reel, and then we had our 1 month evaluation. In November, we began primarily making and posting reels because they were doing a lot better, and our client gave us the feedback. She wanted us to focus on those. We evaluated our progress again, had our 2 month kind of check in and look at the data, and we began planning for the paid campaign. And so December, we had our closeout meeting, and we actually ran our paid campaign last week. All right, so I'm going to pass it over to Ben. He's going to talk about some of the analysis.
So throughout the course of this micro internship, we ran several analyses to determine where GK Office Services was. We ran a SWOT pest analysis. We used SEO tools to look at how she was performing online. And we did a stoplight chart analysis, which you can see a very abbreviated for time version of on the next slide. If you can go to the next slide, Micah, please. Thank you. As Micah was kind of talking about, we found that Greta was not really utilizing communication channels. She wasn't consistently posting to social media. She was really reliant on Fiverr search to bring in new clients. On the plus side, though, she did have hundreds of positive reviews within Fiverr. So if clients did find her, there's a large amount of work to look at so that they could have confidence that they were hiring a good person to fulfill what they needed. As Micah said, we posted to Facebook and Instagram. Here are some of our Facebook results. We had a lot more reach than before we started the micro internship, but the engagement was basically the same, which was very interesting to see. On Instagram, however, it was a different story. We had significantly more reach on our posts, and the engagement was over double what it was before we began the micro internship. On the next slide, you'll see the combined profile visits on Facebook and Instagram. On each profile, we had a link that led to Greta's Fiverr account. Facebook, it was down 50%, which was very interesting to learn, but on Instagram, it was up 100%. On the next slide, we have an image that Greta sent us at the end of October, beginning of November, that she got through Fiverr. It was some analytics that Fiverr provided with her. On the top left, you'll see the organic traffic and orders. It's that number it's that figure that says 10. She had an increase of 7 orders that were organically driven to her Fiverr page. Fiverr does not show you where that traffic comes from specifically. However, it correlated exactly with when we were posting. So we're confident to say that that was a result of our posting. With the success that we were having, Greta wanted to run a paid campaign. So from December 2nd to actually today, we had this paid campaign running. That one on the top, that was shown to people in similar areas as Greta's followers on Instagram. We boosted a reel that was already performing well on Instagram. Instagram had better engagement. And with our limited budget, we just decided to devote all our resources to that. So in Eastern Europe, which is where Greta is based, we had 44 linked clicks that led to our website. And then we retargeted that for the US, Canada, and the UK. And there are only 29 clicks, which was just an interesting figure to see. Our summary of results on the next page, we had 417 accounts reached on Facebook, 279 on Instagram, over 40 organic profile visits across social media, over 70 visits to the Fiverr account with paid ads, and increased orders across Fiverr. Our recommendations for Greta are to continue to post twice a week on Instagram and Facebook, look into offering services in Eastern Europe. She primarily focuses on the US and Western Europe, but with that higher click-through rate with the Eastern European ads, we think that that could be something that she should look into. And eventually she should drive traffic to her website instead of Fiverr. With our client feedback, Greta said that this was the most helpful micro internship that she had had. And during the month of November, she actually received so many orders through Fiverr that she had to cancel some of those orders in order to fulfill them. Throughout this internship, we learned various lessons. Micah learned that diligent work is required to succeed in digital marketing, especially with the nature of our client being in Albania and the time difference. And for myself, I learned that one should utilize emerging technologies to one's advantage. We want to thank GTA Office Services so much for affording us the opportunity to do this, our mentors for guiding us through the process, and you all for listening to our presentation. We are now ready for questions.
Thank you so much. We're gonna go with Frazier, Hagens, Smith.
All right. Great presentation, guys. I like how you laid out the problem and the timeline of your work and how you met with the client and dealt with those issues. And I also like how you adjusted your campaign based on the results. So good job there. So my only question for you guys is, did you see any increase in the client's search ranking on Fiverr after you ran your campaigns?
Yeah, I can take that one. That was something that Greta did talk about. She said that she found that once we were running those ads and there were more people being directed to her Fiverr account and that specific posting, that what Fiverr does is the more people visit it, the higher up it actually ranks. And so she did say that she saw herself rank higher in that search order.
Good job, gentlemen. Very good presentation. I liked your graphics. Everything was very professional, so that was very good. Looks like you overall had really good results. I just say what Mr. Frazier was saying. Good job on adapting and deciding what direction you needed to go and knowing your time frame and what needed to happen. I also appreciated you because that was going to be one of my questions. I know she's worked with several of our student groups, so you sharing that she said it had been one of the most beneficial is very, very good. Kudos to you guys. So good job.
Okay, Smith.
Yeah, great presentation. The social media results, especially from Instagram, were really good. And I did find it interesting, like you had said, Facebook engagement or the reach was up over 2000%, but the actual engagement didn't grow very much for me from a business perspective. When I see things like that, there's some stuff that just clicks for me, like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. What did you all think? And did you all give her any recommendations for the future when you saw those results?
So I primarily was handling the Facebook content, and we didn't do a whole lot of A/B testing with the same ads, different captions and things like that. But I think that potentially us both being in the Gen Z category and Facebook having an older demographic, we were more suited to creating content for Instagram that performed better with that. And we just didn't do enough market research for what the Facebook audience would have liked to see.
Okay. So good deal. Thank you for the constructive feedback from the reviewers. Presentation is supposed to be 6 minutes. Team 3, your presentation was a little bit too long, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So we just want to continue to know time management it matters. So we do want to give a is the client here? She said she was gonna try to make it. Time just 7 hours difference, so maybe she's going to bed. She's probably going to bed. She's probably asleep almost. So let's give it up. Let's give a virtual applause for Team 3. Let's show them some love. There we go. Y'all waving your hands like the queen or the king. Next up, our final presentation for today is Team 4. Team 4, you're up.
All right, can everyone see my screen all right?
Looks great.
All right, good deal. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. My name is Aubrey Young. I'm alongside Kendrick Price with Team 4, and this is going to be our final presentation. So here's our agenda real fast. So we've got basically, you can read it, but we've got our opening, kind of a look at ourselves, our client, kind of just lots of the work we did, some of our results, client feedback, lessons learned, and then conclusion. So for our team, like I said, with Team 4 is Kendrick Price. He was mentored by Trajan Lands. Myself, Aubrey Young, I was mentored by a man named Jim Evans. So special thanks to our mentors. So for the client overview, our client is Calvin Baldwin with Soul Thursday podcast. They have about 81 episodes out right now. The podcast started in February of 2021, and they have around 50 plus listeners live. So it's actually a live podcast that's done where you can join and listen in as it's happening, kind of like a live TV show, or more like a live show you can sit in on. So the scope of work we did was, first we needed to understand Calvin's goals, objectives, and problems, benchmark against local and national competitors, exploring tools for Calvin to continue to use after, and then we wrote 2 curated blogs based on content of podcasts that are already out. So yeah, first detailed schedule. So in September, like I said, understanding goals, objectives, we had our kickoff meeting, did a lot of benchmarking. October, we explored a lot of tools to use and help in just trying to understand clients and how to get better content out there. We drafted our first blog in November. We wrote our second blog, solidified and posted both of them. And then we, right at the end here, pushed it with Google Ads, and then had our closeout meeting in December, compiled results, and obviously our final presentation. So for analyses, these are a variety of analyses that we did. This is our stoplight chart, which was, things in red was finding new audiences and organic traffic to his website and to the podcast. SEO and backlinks is something that we wanted to work on. And then great topics and guests, and then great quality of content is somewhere that he was already doing really well. So for content, this is a draft of a kind of newspaper themed blog cover idea that we had. And then we ended up, this is the final product, the full blog on his website. And so here are some results. As you can see, the views went up by a pretty large percent, new users, obviously sessions. But yeah, as far as the content goes, it was really, the goal was to go on subject matter that he was already working on, had already touched on in a variety of podcasts, kind of have it be a culmination of lots of those topics, and then have links throughout the blog to different episodes that he was a part of. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to KJ.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go into detail for our results. We posted the blogs between November 2nd and December 2nd. So these are the current results. So for the views by page title, you can see that it increased by 388.9%, we came out to a total of 4,317, which is great. And then for the new users, it increased 1,885.37%, which came out to 3.224K, which is outstanding. And then for the sessions, it increased 1,444.44%, which came out to 3,475 sessions for that month, which is, again, all these results are just outstanding just by our blog content. And then next, thank you. And then for our recommendations, we did, when we first had our blogs, we did keyword search in a SEMrush. So our first recommendation is to continue to search for those keywords that appeal to people looking at the website, so we can get more people on the website. And then our second recommendation is to continue making blogs for other special podcasts. The two blogs that we made for the podcast, one was called Black Entrepreneurship, and the other one was ADHD in Women, which made the views of the page and the user skyrocket. So that was our second recommendation. And then our third is to keep utilizing SEMrush and other tools to give Calvin different insights on his organic traffic. Next slide. And then our client feedback, which made us very, very happy. He said we were the most productive session of interns he has had, because in the past, interns were not able to get into the SEO tool. So that was a great thing for both of us. And it also gave him an opportunity for to learn new tools such as SEMrush, how to use keywords and stuff like that. Next slide. Yeah. And then lessons learned. I mainly learned, since we mainly use technology, is that technology is always evolving. So we also have to evolve with it and also use technology to our advantage. Aubrey's lesson learned is that you have to venture outside of your lane. So basically, you got to venture outside of your comfort zone to see more opportunities. And then next. So in our conclusion, we've achieved the goal of increasing organic traffic. We've satisfied our client with our efforts and our performance. And then overall, we are just very, very thankful for our experience with Calvin Baldwin and learning the lessons that he has taught us, and also the lessons that he has learned from what we have taught him also. Thank you. And now we're going to take questions.
Thank you so much. We do have, I think we do have the client in the room. Does the client, if you would say a few words, if you wish.
Sure, a quick 30 seconds. I want to say thank you to the guys for helping out. I really love how they worked together and how they brought different skills to the table. It was a yin and yang effect. I love learning, and both of them were able to teach me new information, new tools. And I'm a smart guy, so I was really, really impressed with that, because I feel like nobody can teach me anything, right? But these guys, taught me some new stuff, and I'm glad they were able to meet me where I am. This year, I was really after, over 200 episodes and 81 published. I was really about how can I make my content work for me? And those guys were able to pivot and support me there and help me think through the process, and I appreciate them for it.
Thank you so much. You've been a great client over the years. We really appreciate you. So we're gonna go with Hagens, Smith, and Frazier.
Good job, guys. To be the best group he's worked with, that's pretty impressive. Way to go. That's great. I thought you got good results. So I have a question on the blog post that really helped so much with you getting your increase and your reach and everything. Were those written by you all? Did you do your research and write them, or how did that come about?
Yes, ma'am. So we got into SEMrush, and we basically searched up keywords like for the ADHD in women. The main keywords were ADHD in women. So we kind of just meshed those together, and we did research on basically what is ADHD, how does women know they have it, and what are some of the results that you can get from that. And we also put some help that you can get. And we also tag his podcast in there as well, so that if they have questions or that they want to see the podcast on that topic, it's already in the blog.
Great, very creative. Good job.
Thank you so much. Smith?
Yeah, your presentation stood out to me a little bit because with a lot of these micro internships, you're having to develop the content and then push it out through social media. Obviously, I mean, Calvin's content was really, really good, and then you all were able to teach him something. What were you able to learn from Calvin about how he created his content, about it's really good. So what were you able to learn from Calvin through this project?
Yeah, I mean, he works really hard. This isn't his full-time gig by any means, and so seeing just how diverse he is in his work, and then also his ability to build people up, not just through having him on his podcast, but also you can just tell he's someone that lives out like the reality. His podcast is actually how he lives, and so I feel like just kind of his demeanor and trying to build up his community, I feel like is really evident, and I feel like that it says a lot.
Okay, Frazier?
Great presentation, guys. Very interesting. The podcast world is. A quick question for you. I know you guys said you use SEMrush. Did you use any other tools throughout the process? And did you have any other learnings outside of what you guys have brought up earlier?
Yes, sir. We use a GT metrics, and we try to use Uber Suggest, but Uber Suggest wasn't really giving us the answers that we needed. I think Uber Suggest was giving us the overall view, and we kind of needed a little bit more specific. But GT metrics gave us basically a grade on his website, and we were able to show Calvin that grade, and also comparing it to his competitors, what they're doing right, what he's doing right, and what they're doing wrong, and something that he can improve in. So that was also new for me this year. I didn't know GT metrics exists, so that was a great learning experience as well.
Yeah, and then I'd say also there's a couple of different tools online that are kind of more general. There's one that we use that was kind of a topic tree, like a search tree. So it's you type in a search and it'll tell you kind of branching out what searches are related to that. And so we try to use that. I forget what it's called, but there's another tool that we use basically just to within these searches, this is what people are looking for. And so we kind of worked that in, like the ADHD blog. I worked in those other searches into the body of the blog. And so that it's not just the title, but it's also like throughout it are more common searches. So hopefully that'll like build on itself. But definitely just, I'd say that just looking for more tools. And then also we did use a little bit of AI to help us with formatting. I'd never written a blog that felt like official. And so we used it for kind of helping us come up with maybe some different subject lines or things like that. And then with the format for
it. Good job.
Thank you so much. So I do want to mention that this class understands AI. So I think they have a competitive advantage. So it's at an entry-level stage, but they actually build graphics from AI, building it from scratch. So they have an advantage. So this team presentation was a little bit long, 7 minutes and 10 seconds, again, 6 minutes, but overall good presentation. Let's give them a virtual applause. With the time we have left, I want to see if any student has anything to say, and then I'm going to give the last words to our reviewers. Matter of fact, let's give them a hand. Let's give them, take your hands back down. Let's give them another applause. For our reviewers, they did an amazing job. Very, very constructive, very, very, very kind. Does any student have anything to say? This might be on NBC, Fox News, or even I don't know, maybe somewhere else. I'm not sure if I can find a place to put it. Podcast, maybe Calvin's podcast will do. Anybody, any comments? Any students, any comments? This is the last last word of the semester? Any comments?
I would say just from like me, this being my first micro internship, I was scared and skeptical just a little bit in the beginning because I didn't know what I was doing coming from the first meeting or kickoff meeting with Calvin. I had to do it by myself and I didn't really know what to do. But then as time went on, I learned a lot of stuff from Aubrey, who has done this before, and also from Calvin, who has had multiple interns. So I think this being my first micro internship, I'm happy to do more.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna end it 15 seconds or less. Frazier, Smith, followed by Higgins.
Overall, great job, guys. I was really impressed with the presentations, how you guys went about your work, you know, the research that you did, and you know, I really enjoyed it. Thank you, guys.
Smith.
Yeah, truthfully, it is really impressive. From where I was there a couple of years ago. I mean, truthfully, it's impressive, the growth and what you all are doing. And then just to backpack off Dr. Green and talking about AI, I mean, we use AI for almost everything now. We really have implemented into what we do. So just keep learning those things. There's so much that's coming out, but keep learning those things. It'll be great tools to have when you enter the workforce.
Good deal. Michael, do you make a mistake? You raising your hand or?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say thank you so much for this semester, Dr. Green. It took me like a month or two to figure out how your class runs and works and everything, but you've been an amazing professor, and I'm very thankful that we've been able to have you.
Good. I'm the mad professor, so Nettie. All right, and last, we're gonna have Ms. Higgins in the force.
Yeah, great job, guys. Yeah, you're very fortunate to have been able to do this with Dr. Green and all, and the things you've learned. And speaking about AI, just keep in mind, I hope you'll look at the resources, because through our career development site, we do have Skills First Resume Builder. It actually does have AI in it, so you can do your job descriptions and compare it to your resume and all, and be sure that you're preparing it as well as you need to. So good job. I look forward to seeing where you all go next.
And this is my last year doing this class, and to see Samuel Smith when we were doing it, and the class were not even showing up, and it was a bad experience, and to see how far we have come. I mean, God is what we do here matters, and I want you to think about this. You have impacted the world. How many I put you up against MIT. No one can do this. And so you have something, you have a chip on your shoulders, and you take that chip on your shoulders, and we take God. And on that note, before I get my tissue, I want you guys to get to your class and have a great day. Great job. This is going to be recorded, and you'll be able to look at it. Have a blessed day, everybody. See you later.